We are now in day 2 of this tragedy. That's the morning, not when you first hear the news, but when people around here remember it really did happen. And what that means is there is a void here this morning. The road behind me is the one that ends with the remains of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a landmark for decades around here, now gone, struck by a giant container ship yesterday morning. And while we are learning about the heroes this morning, the Mayday call, the police stopping vehicle traffic, there are also those who could not be saved, those 6 construction workers now presumed dead. It all happened very quickly. 12:45 a.m. yesterday morning, the ship takes a wide turn into the channel, and then something goes wrong. It slows and starts to drift off course before slamming into the bridge's support structure. You can see the lights, they flicker on, they flicker off, and smoke billows from the funnel just before impact. What authorities say is that is the ship losing power, leaving it at the mercy of the tides and time. If not for that Mayday call, giving officials a chance to stop vehicle traffic, we also know this could have been even worse. So 2 big questions this morning. Why did it happen, and what's the economic hit? We're going to cover both angles, starting with our senior transportation correspondent, Chris Van Cleave, who joins me here this morning. Chris, good to see you.
Good morning, Tony. I want to give you some perspective. This would be like ramming a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier into this bridge. That's how big this ship is. Now, 2 things are going to happen today. We move from search and rescue to search and recovery as crews seek to find those 6 people presumed dead. And the investigation into what went wrong can now really start to ramp up.
Felt just like an aftershock of an earthquake and a loud explosion.
The devastation of that powerful collision was made clear by daybreak as pieces of the mangled Francis Scott Key Bridge littered the Patapsco River and the deck of the Dolly cargo ship.
The whole bridge just fell down.
Shortly before impact, the more than 900-foot-long ship completely lost power and control of its only engine. Lights flickered and went dark. Smoke billowed above when the emergency generator kicked on, but the engine appeared to remain offline. Tugboats had already cut loose, leaving the crew with almost no ability to pilot the vessel, forcing a Mayday message.
Hold all traffic on the Key Bridge. There's a ship approaching. It just lost their steering.
That alert gave police enough time to limit the number of vehicles on the bridge's more than mile-and-a-half-long span.
It was a very quick turnaround from the loss of control to the Mayday being issued. And from the Mayday being issued to the response of our first responders on the bridge, I think it's just incredible to see what they were able to do.
These people are heroes. They saved lives last night.
The Dolly's port anchor was deployed to try to slow it down, but the ship was already on a catastrophic collision course.
If you want to get the ship slowed down. But that takes a certain amount of time.
Michael Kucharski is a former NTSB maritime investigator.
Losing power as you're approaching a bridge would be just about the worst case scenario.
Giant container ships struck one of the 2 main support columns of the bridge.
It's only supported in the air at 2 points, and we took one of them away.
Ben Schaefer is a structural engineer.
There's not a bridge that we build, that's any level of economy and efficiency that's going to survive that.
A team of construction workers fixing potholes on the bridge were unable to escape. 2 were rescued from the chilly water, but 6 are missing and presumed dead, including Miguel Luna, a father of 3 who's lived in Maryland for almost 2 decades.
Based on the length of time that we've gone in this search, the extensive search efforts that we've put into it, the water temperature, that at this point we do not believe that we're going to find any of these individuals still alive.
Now, police believe they got all the vehicles except for that construction crew off the bridge, but they can't rule out that somebody else may have still been on there when the bridge came down. The National Transportation Safety Board will lead this investigation. One of the key things they're looking for are the voice and data recorders on board that ship, Tony.
Yeah, we're going to hear from the NTSB shortly. Jennifer Hamady is here. I want to know about the safety of the vessel itself, prior inspections. What have you learned?
Well, one thing I think the board's going to look at is also the fact the size of these cargo ships has quadrupled since this bridge was built. But we know that over the summer, this ship had a deficiency found in an inspection in its propulsion system. It was resolved by September, so that may or may not be significant, but one thing they're certainly going to look at as they review the maintenance history of the ship, Tony.
Some boxes checked. Chris Van Cleave, thank you very much. Appreciate it.